America didn't just change presidents over the decades, it changed its entire system. From freedom-first government to data-driven leadership, the transformation happened quietly, logically, and historically. Today, we break it down then versus now. Cut to dramatic montage of the U.S. Capitol, old newspapers, and glitchy data visuals. Old parchment animation or archive-style visuals. Narrator: when the country was formed, leadership wasn't complicated. The plan was simple. The people choose the leaders. The states hold power, and the federal government stays limited. And the face of that early leadership was George Washington, a general turned president, a man who wasn't even hungry for power, a leader shaped by duty, not institutions. And then came Thomas Jefferson, one of the biggest voices behind decentralization. He believed states should govern their people their own way. He believed freedom should be the fuel of American policy. So what was the formula back then? Minimal federal interference, strong state rights decisions shaped in Congress halls, not corporate offices, politicians influenced by citizens, not data. But then reality showed up in 1930, and it came in the shape of collapse. The Great Depression. Cut to images of unemployment lines, crashing stock graphs, and silent black and white footage. Millions jobless, banks collapsing, families starving, and for the first time America had to ask itself, is freedom alone enough to save a nation in crisis? Transition from black and white to color. Narrator: and the answer America found was, no, not this time. That's when a massive shift begins under Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader who would rewrite expectations about what government should do. Roosevelt didn't destroy capitalism, he paused it with policy. He launched enormous federal programs. He introduced job creation programs like CCC and WPA, national welfare systems, government-backed economic intervention, public banking support, infrastructure expansion. What changed here? For the first time, America moved from small federal presence to big federal responsibility. The government stepped into markets, into employment, into welfare, into banking. It wasn't a takeover, it was a rescue mission. But rescue missions changed systems permanently. People began expecting Washington to provide solutions, not just liberty, and trust shifted from individual leaders to federal structure. And by the 1960s and 70s, federal power was normal life. More laws, more agencies, more programs. The government became a machine Americans relied on, not one they only feared or occasionally needed. Synthwave, 80s transition overlay. Narrator: but pendulums always swing back. And in the 1980s, the system went through a philosophical reset led by Ronald Reagan. Reagan stood on national TV and said, "Greater than government is not the solution. Government is the problem." That sentence re-engineered American ideology. What he pushed for: cutting taxes, empowering corporations, reducing regulations, less federal market interference, stronger defense budgets. And this shift had consequences. Cause: taxes lowered plus rules relaxed. Effect: corporate America grew faster than government America. The power dynamic updated again. Governments still made laws. Companies now shaped influence. The system didn't shrink, its priorities changed. Fewer economic hands, more ideological speeches. Sharp alarm sound gives red filter transition. Narrator: and just when America was settling into its new philosophy, the next shock arrived. The 9/11 attacks. Cut to footage of towers, news alerts, national fear montage. This moment rebuilt America's system around one concept: security. New reality included expansion of surveillance, national security agencies strengthened, public freedoms balanced against safety laws, patriot-driven policies, war budgets increased. Cause: national trauma plus fear of recurrence. Effect: America moves from freedom-first policy to security-centered governance. This was another system update. It didn't remove democracy. It installed new priorities above it sometimes. Digital glitch transition, server room, data streams. Narrator: now we've reached the modern reboot. Not by war, not by presidents only, but by influence sources the founders never predicted. The new factors shaping policy: social media narratives, economic data models, market reactions, public emotion spikes, algorithmic behavior studies, and the line between politician and institution blurred. Campaign decisions are tested, modeled, targeted, and optimized. Public opinion is measured in dashboards, not town halls. So what happened? Then people trusted leaders. Now, leaders trust data. Then, states held power. Now, narratives hold power. Then, politicians shaped the economy. Now, the economy shapes politicians. Then, freedom defined policy. Now, security, data, and influence define policy. This isn't a conspiracy. This is historical because gives policy effect, gives system change. Slow music returns. Calm visuals of American flags waving. Narrator, countries evolve, not just in leadership, but in logic, and the US government did the same. From a freedom-driven idea to a rescue-driven force, from ideology to security, from leaders to institutions, and now, to data and narrative governance. Pause and remember, systems don't disappear, they update.